Hi, my name is Linda Crow, and I'm the Vice President of Digital Marketing Solutions with Brightcove. And today we're going to talk about the 2016 B2B Content Marketing Research. Today I'm joined by Ardith Albee, Carla Johnson, Janine Rossignol, and Vishal Khanna. What is an editorial mission, and what impact can that have?
Well, an editorial mission is really about defining who you are as a company, who you're trying to reach, how you're going to reach them, and what you want to accomplish when you do. And the reason it's effective when it's documented is because you stay on course. When it's not documented, you can go off track and head off on whims and different approaches and not stay anchored to the true purpose for what you're trying to achieve.
You know, I think your point, Ardith, about being able to stay on track is really important because there's a lot of things, a lot of requests that we get to do, and I think having that mission helps people understand not just what to say yes to, but what to say no to.
I think when you have multiple writers all speaking about the same topic, having that editorial mission keeps everybody on track and keeps them all creating a single voice in all their various channels.
How about if I share an example? So in my company, what I do is focus on helping B2B companies with complex sales develop persona-driven content marketing strategies that turn prospects into buyers and convince customers to stay. It's a big mouthful, but it keeps me on track. So I don't do anything that does not address those things. So I don't do B2C work. I don't do just general lead generation work without addressing an entire strategy. I don't work with companies that don't either have personas or have that as part of the project, because I firmly believe that's what drives a good content strategy. So that defining mission is really what I've based my company on.
And it's important inside that mission to focus on the things that your clients and your prospects care about the most, and knowing what those 3 or 4 things are. And again, into your point, Carla, about being able to say no to those things that aren't important. So the things that are important to us as a brand may not be the things that are important to our prospects.
So if you're new as a marketer to thinking about things in that way, if you start to think about if I went away tomorrow, what's the gap that would be there? So what's the value that I deliver? And I think that's a way to be able to articulate it a little bit differently.
I think sometimes too, the goal of marketers is not to come up with the editorial mission, but to translate whatever that mission is from leadership, board of directors, or whatever part of a company that really owns that space. And our job then becomes translating it out and finding a way to turn it into a marketing strategy, a series of tactics, and so on and so forth.
So it's not just about telling your story, which we hear a lot as content marketers. Make sure you tell your story, but tell your story in a way that makes it relevant to your customer, not just talks about your brand.
Yeah. Telling the right story.
Exactly.
To the right person. Right.
Now, can you have multiple editorial messages?
There's an overarching mission, right? But inside of it, there's different ways that you execute on it. But if everybody isn't talking that same, if it all doesn't come up, then we've lost Xerox as the master brand.
Right.
So we've got to connect it all.
So you need to have an umbrella over everything and then have roll downs.
And that's to me what the editorial mission is that bigger umbrella that everything rolls up to.
I think in the ideal too, you get a little bit of space with that umbrella. It's not a narrow pole, but you have a lot of space you can move around, and all the different players that are speaking the voice of the company are able to be distinct and unique within that umbrella.
But one thing that I see marketers confuse is a tagline with an editorial mission. And it's much different. So it's not just that little snippet that they finally came to agreement on with a whole lot of people in a room, probably some agency help, but it's what's a true editorial mission that they have.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, it's not the same thing, but it's because an editorial mission is different for a lot of marketers, and to have that drive what they do, it's not always clear what that is. Yeah.
Now, what about Xerox? This is a brand that has a long history. How has that mission changed over the years?
Yeah, it's changed a lot, and Xerox has been on a journey for quite a while now, going from a technology company to a services company. But we've never forgot what's at the core of our heritage, and that's around helping people process information and improving their business processes. And so when we remember what the core of our business is, it really helps us to make sure that we are going to our editorial mission, and that we are following through, and that we're delivering that right message to that right person. it's not just about your customers and making sure that they know what you're about, but it's about your employees and making sure that they know and that they can articulate it. So that internal marketing is just as important as that external marketing.
I think it's from Gallup that said 41% of all employees don't even know what their company stands for, which is pretty huge. And then you look at the financial impact of the cost of disengaged employees if they don't know what the company stands for. In the U.S. alone, it's like $400 to $500 billion a year. So there's a big price tag to that. And so when you think about what the content mission can do to offset that $400 to $500 billion impact, it's huge. And if we start looking at what's the financial impact of having or not having an editorial mission, then it becomes a lot more front and center when it comes to importance and priorities.
So thanks everybody for your time. I really appreciate it. It was a great conversation. And for those of you who want more information, you can download the content from the Content Marketing Institute website. It's the 2016 B2B Content Marketing Research.